Let's call it my first guest, everybody. No matter the weather, he always puts a smile on her face. Like you, I'm smiling right now just thinking about him. I love him. You start every morning with him on the Today Show on NBC. Let's say hello to Al Roker. Yeah, you're feeling it. You're feeling it. Little body roll. Yeah. But you and Jenny have something in common. You also wrote some novels, right? Which I didn't know.
Yeah, I wrote 3 murder mysteries. I've written 13 books in all.
Wow.
But I wrote 3 murder mysteries, the morning show murders, the talk show murders, the late night show murders. And they star this guy named Billy Blessing. And so I've always loved murder mysteries. And they say, write what you know. So the first one was the morning show murders. So somebody on a morning news program gets murdered. And Billy Blessing help solve the murder.
So this is why I didn't know. So my mother and like a lot of my friends are really into murder mysteries. I don't think I've ever read one. So now I'm gonna do it because I didn't know this about you, and now I'm like really curious to know about Billy Blessing and who did it. Now I want to know who done it. But who is Billy Blessing? Did you, like I was telling Jenny, like some characters are kind of inspired from my real life, like muses. So is Billy Blessing, is he based off anyone?
Well, he happens to be a chef. He's bald, he's chunky, he's black, and he works on a morning show.
Sorry, okay.
But the only difference is he's really good looking. So that's where we parted company.
No, whatever. Since I saw you last, I was sorry to hear of your prostate cancer diagnosis. So how are you feeling?
You know, Kelly, I really feel good. I was very fortunate. We caught it early. It was an aggressive form of prostate cancer, but we caught it very early. I had a great surgeon from Memorial Sloan Kettering, Dr. Vincent Ledone, and he feels, you know, we've got it all. I'm waiting for blood work. And once my PSA level is like, below like 0.05, that means there's no prostate cancer at this moment. And what I'm going to be doing is getting tested every 6 months for the next 5 years. And if that turns out well, then it's once a year testing for the rest of my life. But, you know, I went public with this because I did want people, it's a simple test. But a lot of guys, you know, we're wimpy. We don't like going to the doctor. And this is an easy test to do. I mean, there's obviously the digital exam where we all remember from Fletch with Chevy Chase, Moon River, you know, but there's that blood test that is in fact the gold standard. And especially for men of color, African-American men, 50% more likely to be diagnosed with prostate cancer and twice as likely to die from it. There are a number of factors in that. So I just want people to get checked, get their prostate checked, and especially if you're a man of color, get your prostate checked. It's not that big a deal, and it can make a big deal. Because the fact is, if you live long enough, my doctor told me, you won't die from prostate cancer, but you probably would die with prostate cancer. So, but making sure you get checked, you can manage it.
You have to, it's your body, it's your temple. You got to take care of it, and you got to keep checking up on yourself. And I think it's so silly when people are like, oh, I just don't have the time. I'm like, do you have the time to die? Like, or do you have the time to get cancer? Do you have the time to do that? Because anyway, I think it's really important that you did speak up and you're open about it. Because I think, like you said, maybe men are not as, you know, excited to go do that. But it is important. And speaking of health, actually, I love how open you are. You actually got a COVID vaccine live on Today. So some think it's controversial. So why was it important to you to do on air?
Look, I think that sadly, I'm the only one on the Today Show old enough to get the shot. I'm over 65. And by the way, that ties into the other issue. You know, a lot of people have been putting off getting health checks, normal health checks, because of the pandemic, either because they've had to or, you know, it's just been difficult. So, and I think there's been some reluctance for people to get it. And especially, again, not to harp on this, but, you know, people of color and Latinx folks and, have had issues, you know, they're in those communities getting the vaccine. So I just wanted to go in there and try to show people, hey, look, this is easy. if you can get it. Now, look, there are a lot of issues with supply, but I think it's important. The only way we're gonna lick this thing is for us to all take responsibility for ourselves and for other people. So that means wearing a mask. That means doing social distancing, washing hands, and getting your COVID vaccine.
And so we can get our lives back. How about that? Yeah.
That's right. And in fact, our parent company, Comcast, NBC Universal, is trying to help folks plan your vaccine so that we all get together and can see our loved ones. So all you have to do is go to planyourvaccine.com, sign up for an interactive site, gives you all the vaccine information you'll need in one place so that when you get your appointment, you are ready to go.
Right on. You should have been a coach. You're good at it. But well, hold on. You have a Today Show interview special coming up next Monday, right? Can you talk about it?
Yeah, I'm very excited about this. The first African-American cardinal was named, Wilton Gregory, Catholic cardinal was named. He runs the Archdiocese of Washington. So technically he is President Biden's pastor. And I got to sit down with him, and he was not raised Catholic. But his family migrated up from the South to Chicago. And once he got into Catholic school, he knew pretty quickly he wanted to be a priest. And we talk about the divide in our country. We talk about bias and race in our country, and how even as a man of the cloth, he's had to deal with that. So I really enjoyed sitting down and talking with him, and we're going to have that coming up this coming Monday on the third hour of Today. It's a really interesting conversation and I think we really do need to be talking more and more with our faith leaders if we're going to try to unite people together.
Yeah, good gosh, about time. That's what you should name that special. About damn time. You can see Al Mornings on Today on NBC. Yep, I'm still here, just waiting for you to subscribe. If you don't, I'll be trapped in this box forever. Ah.